So I don't know about you guys. And I'm sure that at some point there's too much information to have on the internet. Like, I'm sure that that's like a thing that people feel at some point in time. But why would I obligate myself to feel that way if I would just like not feel that way? Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but at some point in time I decided that, like, between me and the universe, if I'm going to like think that something negative is about somebody else momentarily, then like literally within 3 seconds I'm going to think that about myself. So if I walked down the street and I'm like, wow, that person's hair is like really like a weird color, which I wouldn't even like, unless it's like actually really bad. But even if it's literally like, it doesn't matter if there's like bugs crawling in that lady's hair. If I'm like, oh, like her hair looks really weird because there's like actively like 70,000 cockroaches on it, like it's kind of weird, like it's probably contagious, like I don't want that. I'll be like, oh, like, does my hair look weird and have a weird smell to the point where it's probably contagious that it's weird? Like, within 3 seconds, my brain is like, I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong, but I'm just gonna mirror that back to you, and like, not that I can't go there. It's like my brain is like, not that you can't go there, but by the way, like, this is also the karma that's attached to that. So like, there's nothing wrong with you going there as well. But by the way, like, that what you just said isn't about you. Can you confirm to yourself that what you just said is not about you? So, it's fun to be learning more than just the life experience of like, can I identify hair that I think is weird on someone else's head? Can I also learn that I would have immediately thought that that experience was also about me, and then also separate myself from the fact that there was ever a potential that it could have been about me and that it's just about that other person's one singular experience? Because I think a lot of people are just unconscious of the fact that those were ever bonded together, or they were never bonded together for them to begin with because they never like associated it with like any trauma or anything. So because of that, they definitely would never have the experience of like consciously like unbinding themselves from what they would have perceived another person to be at any point, because they never thought that they were needing to like automatically stoop to the lowest level of what the other person was to them in order for their life to make any sense. So like, yeah, I'm just realizing like, how weird is it? And it doesn't matter what it's about. It doesn't matter what it's about. I could be walking down the street and if I see there are not chickens in the street in Florida, but say hypothetically there were like a chicken in the street in Florida. Okay, and I'm like, wow, that chicken has a weird beak. Then I'm gonna be like, wait, my nose isn't weird to me, is it? No, I don't think so. But like, if in any case it is, I still love myself even if it is. Like, I can like self-identify with a chicken walking down the street to the point where if I would be insecure if I were that chicken, I can work on it right now and be like, you know what, actually, if in any hypothetical situation I were like weird towards myself being a chicken, I can work on that right now so that I don't have any insecurities in case I have a hypothetical future life where I am a chicken. And like, even though that's not gonna happen, I could be like, oh, like I could like clearly work on the part of myself that would have been insecure about being a chicken, because there's nothing wrong with being a chicken. And if I'm the chicken, then it's actually the best thing possible to be a chicken. But if somebody else is a chicken, it's actually terrible to be a chicken because they're not me. And because of that, every time that I'm like, oh, of course I wouldn't want to insult a chicken walking down the street, because what if I were that chicken? Then I can like not just empathize with that, but also be like, but I would still love myself even if I were a chicken. Like, you know, but like I feel like my brain just started doing that automatically to the point, I mean obviously, but like to the point where like it just becomes something I'm more and more consciously aware of. But it's like, I don't know. Even something negative happening in my life has become a positive thing, because like nothing can take away the fact that my brain is automatically fixing things that I'm perceiving as if those things are me, but like fixing the version of it inside myself. So even if I looked at like my house and I'm like, wow, there's like a hair on the wall, because when I got out of the shower I just stuck a hair on the wall, but like, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't be like, you know, I would be like, oh, like, well, what if I were the wall? Like, how would I feel about that? What if I were the hair? How would I feel about that? Like, I'm actively, like, working on the part of, I'm just consciously aware of it. The fact that I'm working on the part of myself that, like, even if that's something everybody's brain does, which I don't think it is, but even if it is something that everybody's brain does, because, you know, some people are out here, like, actually doing nothing. And if you are, like, that's cool, that's fine. But you can do whatever you want. Like, you don't have to, like, only be here and not do anything to, like, work on yourself in any type of way. There's options. There's some type of options. I don't care where you are, there's some type of option. Like, you know, there's always an option you don't have, there's always an option you do have. Like, if you can't really figure out both, try. Try. Yeah, you know? I feel like at this point, if I watch somebody trip and fall, I would have to be like, so I don't want to also trip and fall, right? And then I'd be like, no, like, I don't want to also trip and fall, you know? And then I just wouldn't trip and fall. But if I were like, maybe I do want to, then I think I immediately would. Like, unintentionally. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm perceiving a weird amount of choice, like, here still. Way more than there actually is, right? Or not, but like, it's the same thing either way. I don't know. At some point, everything that you think you know becomes maybe I'm completely wrong, maybe I'm completely right. I'm just going to experience this moment right now. And if that means that I'm going to be a hypocrite in 5 minutes, like, let alone 10 years or whatever, like, I feel like people will, like, hold themselves to whatever they said in, like, whatever time. But if I'm going to be a hypocrite in 3 minutes, then that's literally how it's going to be, because there's nothing wrong with that. I think that means that people actually have like a healthier thought process if they are a hypocrite more often, not even meaning to be, or meaning to be because they don't care and they embrace it. But what I mean is, like, if you're holding yourself to something that you've like said or decided at some point in time, I think you're just harming yourself. I think you're just harming yourself. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't really know how that's gonna work though if I said I could be wrong about it not being a bad thing to be a hypocrite. Like, at some point, it becomes a paradox where it's like, who actually cares? Like, I think people just lose interest in the paradoxes at some point because they don't matter. And because, like, all of their other chakras are open, so they're like, why would I keep it all mental when I could just work on all parts of me? But I think people have to go through enough to start having some, like, brain waves working before they can get out of their own head. Like, I think the default is people getting into their head overly, you know? But maybe some people can't even go there. Maybe some people can't even, like, manage that level of achievement. I mean, never give up on yourself, even if you can't get there, you know? Because the only person who can ever give up on you is you. Because other people can only give up on themselves as you in their own brain if they're really stupid, you know? Moral of the story, everybody's stupid, I'm stupid, you're stupid. If you think that you're not, you're just so terrified of, like, being a hypocrite at some point in time when you are smarter. You think that other people are going to, like, self-identify with you as a certain version of you, put you in a box, and then you'll never be able to escape it even though none of that was real. Or you don't think that at all, but you probably do. And it's fine if you don't, but you probably do. And even if you're not aware of it, you probably still do. Unless you can somehow prove that you don't. It's all just a paradox, so, like, the moment you stop caring, you kind of win.